Hey guys, my name is Masha Knots, and in this video I'm going to show you how to segment knot this beautiful bracelet. So I was actually in the middle of filming the tutorial for this bracelet when I found out that another person who makes videos on YouTube was also making a tutorial on the same bracelet. And her name is Alex, and her channel is Alex's Innovations, and I'll have the video that she made on this bracelet in the card and in the description down below. And I loved her video, and I love the fact that there are other people as well on this platform making videos about bracelets, so go check her channel out. I really like her videos, and let's get on with this tutorial. So these are the colours that I chose for my bracelet, and once again you don't have to use these exact colours, you can use any colours that you like, but in case you want to, I'm going to label them from 1 to 6, and I'm going to leave the brand and the colour code down in the description so you can use these specific threads if you'd like to. So to start this bracelet, I decided to make a loop at the top and then do triangle ends at each of the ends of the loop. And then I'm going to connect them when I start making the pattern. I'm going to leave tutorials to both of these things in the description so you can check them out, but you don't have to do this if you don't want to. You can start your bracelet however you like. I'm going to show you from this point onwards how to make the pattern. So I'm going to start by connecting the two triangles with a knot between these two threads. This is a knot from a row which is further in the pattern, and so we're going to get back to it when we circle down to it. So from row 1 to row 6, we can see two very clear-cut triangles, so we're going to focus on those first. So this pattern is a little bit more complex, but thankfully it's identically symmetrical, so I'm going to show you what to do on the left part of it, and then you do the exact same thing on the right part. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to separate the two pairs on the outermost edge. Now, with the thread that is fourth for you, so we separated the two, then there's a third one, so the thread that is the fourth, for me it's the purple one, so this triangle, we're going to do a backward knot completing the triangle. Same for the one on the right, the purple thread, we're going to do a forward knot completing the triangle. Next we take the two strings that are in the center, which are for me the green ones, and we do backward knots on the left side and forward knots on the right side, but we don't touch the purple ones because we've already left them behind. And then, according to our pattern, we just have to make one knot in the center. So now that we've made a knot in the center, we bring it out, just like we did in the previous rows. And then we make one final knot in the center with the blue. So now that we've completed all the inner triangles, we're going to make the outer triangle, and we take the yellow either side. And at this point we're just doing a regular chevron, so we're doing forward knots onto each of these strings with the yellow, and then backward knots onto each of these strings with the other yellow, and then connecting them in the middle. And then we do the exact same thing on the right side. So for me, I'm bringing all my strings out. I'm doing forward knots on the right side, backward knots on the left side, but I'm not going further than the blue string. So I'm doing a forward knot onto the blue string, and then I stop with each of the colors. So with the green now, I need to do a forward knot on the yellow and the blue. And then I do the same on the left side, so purple to blue, green to yellow to blue. And then for the last triangle, I'm just going to be bringing the yellow out to the blue. And for the very last step, before I close this section off, I just do a knot between the two blues. And once we're done, we take the two yellow threads on the outermost edges and we do a chevron until they meet in the middle. So now we're heading into the middle bit, and we're going to take the two strings that we have in the middle, which are for me the pink ones, and we're going to bring them out into an inverted triangle as well. So we're going to make a knot between the two first, and then we're going to make forward knots right up until the yellow one, but we're not going to make a forward knot on the yellow one. and on the left side we do the same but with backward knots, so we do backward knots up until the yellow string, not doing a backward knot on the yellow string. Now with the yellow string we do a forward knot on the left side onto the pink string and a backward knot on the right side onto the pink string. So now that we've gotten to the center bit, we do the exact same thing as we did in each of those. So we take all the middle strings and we bring them out up until the blue string. So starting with the purple one, we do a forward knot in the middle connecting the two purple ones. And then we bring the purple one out to the right and the other one out to the left with forward knots on the right, backward knots to the left up until the blue string, including the blue string. Next comes the green one, a knot between the green one, and then forward knots to the right, backward knots to the left until we reach the blue string. Next is the yellow, a knot between the two yellows, and then forward knots to the right, backward knots to the left until we reach the blue, but since the blue is the next string, we just do one forward, one backward. And then of course one knot between the two blue strings. Managed to shove my hair into it by accident. So now that we're finished with the inside of the little scale, we're going to separate the two yellow strings. And once again we're just going to do a chevron with each of the yellow strings going into the center and then connecting them in the middle. Make sure to untangle any messes that come about. My strings tangle with each other constantly, it's really annoying. Once we've finished the yellow chevron, next comes the pink chevron. So we separate the pink strings and we bring the pink strings into the middle as well. So we do forward knots here, backward knots here, connect them in the center just like we did with the yellow. So now that we've finished the center, we're going to focus on the sides, separating everything over there. We're going to leave just 5 strings on the left side. So we're going to do forward strings with the purple up until the yellow. Then forward knots with the green up until the yellow. Now comes the slightly lighter yellow up until the yellow as well, forward knots. And with the blue it's just one forward knot onto the yellow. Now that that is done, we take the pink string and we do backward knots onto all of the strings that are to the left of it. And we do the exact same thing on the right side, except obviously mirrored. So backward knots with the purple up until the yellow. Then backward knots with the green up until the yellow. The other yellow up until the yellow goes backward knots. And then one last backward knot with the blue onto the yellow. And then the pink, we do forward knots up until the very edge. So all the threads that are to the right of the pink, we do forward knots onto them. So in a normal video I would just guide you to the end of the pattern and then let you loop yourself, but here I'm just going to show you that there's a very easy way to loop this pattern. So obviously we had a colour shift, so we're doing the exact same thing as we did here. It's sort of like a heart shape, I would say. We're doing the exact same thing as we did here, but we've had a colour shift. So don't let that freak you out. If you watched my how to read normal patterns video, you know that if there is a colour shift in the pattern when it loops, it doesn't matter, you just continue making the pattern according to the pattern, completely ignoring the colours. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the exact same, so we're going to fill in the little scales in the middle, right? So we've done a triangle that opens up. We need to fill it in and then close it back down again, just as we did with these two. So I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. We've got the purple in the middle. With the purple, we're going to do a forward knot in between the two. Then we're going to bring one of them out to the right, making forward knots up until the yellow string. One of them out to the left, making backward knots up until the other yellow string. And then we're going to do the same for each of the other colours up until the yellow string as well. So our next colour is the green one. We do a forward knot between the two, and then we bring it out, forward knots on the right side until the yellow string, backward knots on the left side until the yellow string. So for some reason I seem to have lost all the footage that I recorded after this point, so you guys are going to have to deal with my voice for the rest of the video. But let's get into it. So all you're going to do is you're going to continue what I was doing. So you could see that I was bringing my colours from the middle outwards, and you're going to continue doing that until you reach the last colour, on which you just do a knot in the middle. And then you do a regular chevron. So you take the outermost strings and you bring them into the centre, closing off this little scale. And then you do the exact same thing on the right side. And then once you've done that, you've looped. You start the pattern again. You've looped the entire pattern, and at this point you can start the pattern again. So good luck to you guys. And there you have it. That's how you make this bracelet. I think it's a really cool bracelet. It's really easy to make. I'm definitely going to be making more of these in the future. Some of you may know that this bracelet is actually one of the bracelets that is the prize for my competition winners. This bracelet will be assigned at random to one person who entered the competition. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I have launched a competition recently. It's now closed. I post videos twice a week, usually on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and I will see you on Saturday. Bye!